Welcome, everyone. I have Mike Fata here, actually our first guest on Building a Better Company with Conscious Brands. And Mike, you are, I guess I've seen you, we've known each other for almost 20, 25 years, something like that, from when you first started Manitoba Harvest, and we're working the trade show circuit together. I had Friendly Foods, and then just some of the other work that we've done together, and CHFA and all sorts of amazing things. And I've always found you an inspiring person, a good friend, and had amazing advice. So welcome here. And, we were talking about this a little bit before. How do I introduce you? And we were looking at your LinkedIn profile of all the amazing things that you're doing. But I think one of the things that it does say investor, but Fata Family Ventures is probably a good launching off point, because it seems like, family's so integrated in what you do and all these ventures. And, Fata is the name that you were given. So
yeah. Well, thanks for having me, Rob. I'm happy to chat with you and share some of my perspective.
Yeah. So I guess, as we start to explore and unpack what a better company is, I think that you founded a better company, better in the space, and not even just with the product that that Manitoba Harvest was known for, which is hemp, and the pioneering that you did with that, but also just how the company was run. And it was, anytime we were at the facilities, it was very, had that family feel. And what would you say are some of the attributes of a better company?
I think it starts at the top. So like strong leadership with core values is a good way to have a better company. Because it all does start from leadership at the top. A team can only align around, a mission. For sure, you got to have a good product or service, but I think it's, we know it's more of that. It's how the company operates, the things that it does and doesn't do, the things that it says and the things that it won't say, and I credit that for a lot of the success, not only in Manitoba Harvest, but some of the other portfolio companies that I've been able to be involved with from a board level and a leadership level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, when I hear that, I hear kind of that deeper why of why an organization was started. And we call that higher purpose when we're talking to companies. So you mentioned that you are doing, you have some investments in a portfolio of companies. What other than kind of the product and the business model, how does purpose or deeper meaning within an organization influence the investment that you put into it?
Yeah, so it's been 2 years since we sold Manitoba Harvest the second time. So over the last 2 years, I've made a handful of investments. I have 5 companies in the portfolio. I think you're right. It starts out with product first. Like it's got to be a great product that I have in my house that I enjoy, my family enjoys, and I think that just the world will wake up to learning about it or discovering it, and I can help that business. Build through organizational development, team development, proper capitalization. But I think to get at your question, I have to feel like I could be a proud spokesperson for that. So and it's all food, right? But it starts with like food that I enjoy and I can stand behind, that is making a difference. Whether it's organic agriculture, it's better for you, or healthy proteins and fats and the kind of macronutrients, clean eating, and so. But I find that it's less about the business opportunity. The money making opportunity comes like far down the line, because I think any good business can make good profit, but it's what is the product, what's the values of the business, and then do I feel like I can stand up on a soapbox and tell people about it?
Yeah, for sure. I kind of have had this idea since I sold one of my companies, well, my computer company, in the mid 90s, and it just seemed like it was really easy to make money. But making money that's aligned to values, and that you can, like you said, you can feel good and stand up on a soapbox and share. It almost adds a new challenge to this whole entrepreneurial game. And
I think that's what people get excited about. When we built Manitoba Harvest, like team members, why they loved working at Manitoba Harvest. I mean, it was a great product, and hemp foods were making the world a healthier place. they had a good opportunity through kind of training and development and a successful career. But at the end of the day, if you ask them, is really they'd be able to go home to their friends and family and be proud of the difference they're making. They're helping make the world a better place or a healthier place. And I think that people really want that. I think that you're the purpose, you said higher purpose. I believe, my passion, and I had my why, my passion for health since I've been 18, but my purpose is to help make this world a healthier place. So helping other entrepreneurs that are trying to do the same thing, that makes me feel good. Team members that are working at these companies, that's one of the reasons why they're working there. A big reason is because they want to feel good and they feel proud about it.
Mm-hmm. That intrinsic engagement, that value of, my values to my organizational values and how they link together. What are you seeing like a trend? And you've been Manitoba Harvest. What was it? Like your 30-year anniversary coming up here soon?
Oh, no, not old enough for that, Rob. No, 20. It's 20. Well, 23 years.
23. Yeah.
Yeah. This is we're coming into the 24th year. So I don't know what that is. 25 is like gold or silver.
Silver, I think. Yeah, silver. Yeah. So, with that, it's like, what have you seen the shift? Because when I remember there was a group of you, those companies. There's Manitoba Harvest, there was Amazon and Guayaki and
Dagoba chocolate. Yeah,
Dagoba. Yeah, right. A group of you that were just doing some really amazing things, and it seemed like it was outside of, not so much outside of the organic realm, but outside from the deeper purpose piece of it and the deeper mission piece of it.
Yeah, I think each one of those companies, the thread at that time, and we had a great friendship. I still have all those friendships, which I'm very grateful for. But I think the thread there was that we were all pioneering new commodity products, right? Mm-hmm. Hemp, acai, yerba mate, organic fair trade chocolate, green superfoods, even with amazing grass. And so I think, it wasn't just a brand. It was really about the origin story, the source, and like the helping make the world a better place, healthier place by introducing these products. I think that, and maybe that's more of I think fast forward like 20 years, that's kind of more the norm. I think consumers want to understand where their food comes from, whether it's, manufacturing comes from or the product itself. And obviously the world's a lot more open to kind of these ancient superfoods or different foods from different cultures. But that was, I think, the connectivity and the glue at that time, if I kind of look back at it now.
Mm-hmm. And what sort of trends are you seeing in the marketplace with regards to, like, that being a standard, that whole purpose piece being a standard?
I think just, again, I think the brands that are really breaking out and moving forward are doing a good job at storytelling. And it's not the story is like rooted in truth. It's their origin story instead of like kind of making up marketing. And so two things are happening, like with social media and connectivity of consumers. People actually want to hear the story. They want to be part of the story. But then there has to be authenticity in that story. And that's why I'm a big believer in manufacturing, because I think if you take the same brand that's made a great product, they make orange juice, and one owns the facility that makes orange juice and knows all about oranges and squeezes great oranges and has quality control there, and the other brand doesn't own any manufacturing. They work with some co-packing partners. The actual story that you could tell if you own that manufacturing, or the same could be true if you said you own the orchards or something. I think that resonates more than ever with consumers, specifically consumers in the health food industry or the natural and organic product industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, origin story. We were talking a little bit before we started recording this call, and you were saying that you've had 5 million impressions on LinkedIn this year.
Yeah.
And you've, I think your origin story is just so compelling, like how you've fought odds of health, of education, of just, all these things that, you've and maybe not overcome, but you've accepted the challenge to break through and, do all that you've done. And I think it's, inspiring for a lot of people. And how you tell that origin story is, you keep reiterating and coming back to, the health and how you feel and why community is important.
Yeah, these are all learnings, over 20 years of enjoying the journey. And really, like, what like what part of I'm a big believer in like the best day ever, so I just kind of, and continuous improvement, and so I just like to continuously improve all the things that I'm doing, and that's why I spend so much time giving back to the community and mentoring, and just because it makes me feel good, and I
Mhm.
want to see the world a healthier place. I'm being the change that I want to see, and at the end of the day, it's all good vibes and good feeling, and so I feel like I'm just getting started with that. I could do that for a lifetime. I could do that for 10 lifetimes, if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say that some of the low hanging fruit are with organizations that maybe aren't at that place of being able to articulate their origin story? Because we all have origin stories, right? It's just
Yeah.
whether we feel like they're valuable to share.
Yeah. I think it comes from some of the traditional marketing approach, like, product market fit, understanding your product and the market opportunity. But I think the founder product fit is kind of that piece of that origin story. Like, why is the founder or the entrepreneur doing what they're doing? And it can come from a number of different ways. Some people are like, hey, I ran up the hill, and by the time I got to the hill, I had clarity of that I wanted to spend my time outdoors, and so I created an outdoor energy bar or whatever. It could be that, or it could be going down to the South America on a trip and discovering maca for the first time, and I wanted to devote my whole life to maca. These stories in our industry happen all the time, and but some people are living their story and they don't understand how to articulate it, or even just process it internally before they get external with the sharing and the communication.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does your day look like, Mike? Now that you're not at Harvest 18 hours a day,
Yeah.
like what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I probably I give myself time in the morning first, so I have a pretty strong morning routine where I get up and I meditate and I spend some time with myself to really focus on my outputs of the day before I get into inputs. And then I usually go from there to the gym. I have a gym in my house, so I like to work out, do some yoga, like make the body feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And then continuing that on into like a sauna, and then shower and kind of do the doing that part to get ready. So my morning probably routine is a good 2.5 hours, which I always had parts of that through my whole 20-year business health journey, but it was compressed, and so I take the time because I have the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've been spending most of my day giving back, and so I probably have a couple for sure every day, but sometimes three, four, five. Like on Friday, I had 6 mentoring calls, each 30 minutes. So it's 3 hours of the day. So, 2.5 hours to kind of get myself ready for the day, 3 hours spending in some mentorship calls, always a couple hours of business, dealing with, the portfolio companies or moving business along. And then, a bunch of time making healthy food and eating that healthy food. And then, time with my family when we're together, and it's a full day, and I can put that on repeat. So I don't have a lot of difference between too much difference between a weekday and a weekend day.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little bit lighter on some of the work stuff, but I generally like the different aspects of that's kind of the best day ever for me. So most of that's on a repeat on the regular.
Yeah, for sure. That's interesting that just that repeat ever and the best day ever doesn't differentiate itself between a Monday or a Saturday.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing. Maybe there's a little bit light. What how has kind of this great pause impacted your life? You're not on airplanes all the time, and
Yeah, I just went on my second trip in a year and a half. So since March last year, for a year I didn't travel on an airplane, which I was a super elite traveler for many years, and 100 flights a year, 150,000 miles a year. So staying home and staying still was gave me a lot of opportunity, and I used that opportunity to double down on my health and wellness. This 2.5 hour routine was developed strongly over the last 2 years anyway, and reading more, being at home more. So I'm a good chef, and I like preparing my own food generally. And but also when you're not traveling, you're eating at home
yeah,
instead of eating out. So yeah, I think I'm the opposite of like the quarantine 15 or whatever. I felt like I used that time to really better myself and kind of cement how I wanted life to be, after not being inundated running a business, because I am still a recovering entrepreneur.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever, ever not be an entrepreneur in some
No,
aspect.
now,
Yeah.
well, but I'm not operating, so when you operate a business with a couple hundred team members and 24/7 manufacturing, and there's always opportunity, but there's always a problem too to help solve and stuff. And that it gets, it's the reality over 20 years. There's a lot of 100-hour work weeks, part of that's
Mhm.
my personality and how I like to build, but it also, the organization needed that and took that sometimes as well. So I don't have that. And I'm still, when I say recovering entrepreneur, I'm adjusting out of that. And I don't say that I'd ever want to not run a business, but right now I'm a solopreneur. The stuff that I do in my investments and stuff, I do that. I don't have a team, and I like that because no one's reporting to me, and I'm not reporting to anybody, and I can more manage my day for longevity.
So as we start to wrap up here, what are like one or two pieces of advice that you would give an entrepreneur starting out that wanted to be, purpose driven, purpose led, building a better company, just kind of from the ground up?
Yeah, what comes to mind is having a good founder product fit, whatever product or even service they're going to be they're creating. Make sure that really aligns with their why. It's a good foundation to start. If they have that already, I think from there it's building community. I'm a big believer in making friends first, doing business second. You build a community, and the community wants you to win as an entrepreneur, you're going to win. You're going to have all this support around you of motivation, inspiration, people that'll probably join your mission. So I'm a big believer in that. And as we were talking about earlier, I think that's the social tools like LinkedIn can really create that, especially when we're all, or many of us working from home or working remotely, and maybe you're not in the biggest city as an entrepreneur. You can start a business in Regina, Saskatchewan, or Smallville, USA, and you can still do a lot from there if you're connecting to the larger community and the industry at whole.
Right on. So, Mike, as we finish up here, where I'll link I'll put your LinkedIn profile into this, and likely people that are watching this video will be seeing it on LinkedIn. But what are a couple of things that we can promote for you?
I think the biggest one, and I've been working on them over the last couple of months. Greg Fleischman, who's a good industry friend of mine, and I created what started out as a startup toolbox, a Dropbox folder, but it's now, we dub it the Fata and Fleischman mentorship toolbox. So basically taking our hard drives, our forms and templates from over the 20 years of growing natural product businesses from $0 to $100 million, and make it available for people for free. So fatafleischman.com, it's a website, self-serve now. And there's, investor lists, there's investor templates, there's cash flow and financial projection models. There's a whole bunch of information on sales and marketing, HR files, and it's just really our way of giving back. And then we've been doing some master classes on Clubhouse to walk entrepreneurs through the forms and templates so they get a better understanding of how to use them and how to make better planning their business easier. And so that'd be the main one, because it's probably one of the biggest give back projects of recent that I want to make sure. Now there's been about 1,000 entrepreneurs plus that have accessed the toolbox, and lots of great reviews. So people should check it out.
For sure. And I guess the question I'm still curious about is, how much easier would have your life been if you had access to this information when you first kicked off?
It's huge. That's why we did it. I mean, I was fortunate, and I'm very grateful that I had some great mentors throughout my business career. I kind of searched out mentors, and I made some good ones on, in the sales discipline, marketing discipline, ops and finance disciplines. But generally, a lot of entrepreneurs are lacking good mentorship. I love mentoring, but I can only spend so much time one-on-one with people, or I run out of time in the day. And so we were like, how can we give back in a bigger way and in more of a self-serve model? I would have, some product P&Ls, some of these things that I just didn't have an understanding of before, and then we, slowly but surely over the years created them. It's a game changer.
That's awesome. Well, I'll link Fata and Fleischman mentorship program in this as well. Mike, it's so great to see you, and I look forward to the next time. I think it was last time we saw you was in Vancouver at the CHFA.
Yeah, that might be the next trade show. We don't have any shows this fall, so we're hoping that by April, CHFA West will be back on, and we'll be hanging out as an industry in person.
Yeah, right on. Well, thanks so much, friend, and we will we'll connect soon.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks, Mike.